Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Comes to you live from the outskirts of the internet. It's the Gaming Saloon for July 27, 2025, with your host, Peacebreaker 2448, and Wrap It Up Salon.
Hi.
We don't have bad news.
But we don't have a direct, so that is bad news.
Fair. But we get a Pokemon Presents.
But it's not a Nintendo Direct, so...
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you've said doesn't really surprise me.
I mean, unless you're like really excited for Champions, it felt like there wasn't much of that Presents, really. Because I have tried the puzzle game that they announced, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, before we get into any news and stuff, what have you been playing the last couple of weeks?
Bonanza.
How is the newest Kong?
I feel like it's what we probably should have gotten from DK64, just saying.
Yeah.
I do feel like it... I do feel like the limitations on the Bonanzas, while I know they're there, I feel like shouldn't necessarily be there.
Mm-hmm.
Because having that change kind of does help. But I also understand why they do it that way. Also, Elephant Bonanza might be a little OP.
All I know is it can suck up like corrupted material to clear your path. I don't know.
Up everything.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Also, you can skip getting Pauline at the beginning. I actually got it to happen. I was screwing around with it one more time, and I'm like, I know this can be done, and I made it over there.
Right, but what is the benefit of it besides the time save? Like,
I did see an article that said something about, and it makes sense. Even if you skip her at the beginning, you have to have her for the first Bonanza. Otherwise, you can't progress.
Makes sense.
Until something is found to pass that, then really that doesn't do anything. I am surprised that that article didn't say something about the fact that it would probably give her to you, because I would have to think they would have had that as a back end. Especially knowing some of the crazy stuff that came out of Odyssey's movement.
Mm-hmm.
I would have figured that would have been a failsafe. So the fact that no one has said anything about that, I'm like, that means they didn't put that as a failsafe? Meaning if we could figure out a more consistent way of using the broken photo mode that Nintendo loves to put in every game to clip out of bounds, there's very possible that, yeah, you might could do a Pauline-less run.
How far can you get? Supposed to say, how far can you get without Pauline and the Bonanzas?
If there's a consistent out of bounds, then you could probably go all the way. I do think that over time, the speedrun will probably skip certain Bonanzas. Because I think you could skip getting the Elephant Bonanza. I'm not 100% sure on that though. Because you get the Ostrich Bonanza first.
Mm-hmm.
Flying is busted.
Of course it is.
Combine that with the snake that you get after Elephant, and it is stupid busted. Because I didn't realize it until until I was playing yesterday, and most of the way through the game, you can swap bonanzas once you activate it to begin with. So you could start in like snake and transition to ostrich.
Yeah, that was something they emphasized in the direct day. That it was just like, yeah, once you're in bonanza mode, you can hot swap bonanzas. Then you're not really penalized or anything. It doesn't cost anything to swap between them. It just is that initial, like, just have to get the meter charged up, and then it ticks down.
Meaning they know what they did.
I'm pretty sure there's a skill for each of them to keep you in the bonanza longer, but that is an individual basis. So the rate the meter goes to. Is it? Okay, I thought I was on the skill. I guess I was wrong. I thought in the skill tree it was separate, but I must have misread it.
It's an overall. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, if there's a way to figure out how to sequence break, then that game could be busted even worse. I don't think there's a good way to sequence break, though. I think in terms of like how Odyssey is, I think you are pretty linear. But it does kind of make me wonder if there isn't a way to do it.
Of course, I know what's at the end of the game, and I know how the final boss is to some respect, and I'm like, I think you need certain bonanzas to clear that boss unless you get creative.
You could get creative.
Okay.
Because there is certain fights before. I haven't gotten to the final boss fight, so I don't know on that one. But I know other.
That was gonna be.
I know other fights. They intend you to do it with certain bonanzas, but at a certain point, there's no real reason for the first bonanza you get. It gets to that point where it's just like, oh, you want me to use this bonanza? I could use this other one, but it's going to be harder.
Yeah. I do think you do get an unlimited bonanza for final boss because you need it.
I mean, that would make sense. Usually, in terms of Odyssey, bigger enemies you can't keep for long periods of time, meaning that you really shouldn't be able to hold Bowser through the escape.
Yeah.
That's one of those that kind of drills that through to you the entire game, and then, oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah, I actually know a bit about like the final area and the final boss, and so I've stayed vague about it because if you've seen, you know why.
I haven't yet. I got gate locked on Banandium.
Of course.
I'm like, really? We had to do this stupid gate locking here? Which I'm sure there's probably a way to skip all of it. I'm sure. I'm just not getting that creative right now.
Yeah.
That is when I get finished with the game and decide I'm wanting to try to speedrun it. But oddly enough, while I feel like I probably would want to speedrun this, I don't know if I'd want to dive into it like I did Odyssey. And I'm not saying that because it's bad or anything. I'm just saying I almost feel like this game's better enjoyed not trying to go fast.
Yeah.
Whereas Odyssey, yeah, that was the whole thing. You want to go fast. Most of the platforming that you had to do in Odyssey, you kind of had to have momentum. Whereas I was flying through some of these layers and I was sitting there thinking, dang, there's not really a whole lot on the main. It's go to the seal, hit the seal, go down, do the boss fight, go down. Which makes me wonder what the minimum banana gems for the like any percent run would be. Because it has to be stupid low, if not zero. Because I could only see the 5s being the ones that you'd want to pick up because that gives you a guaranteed skill point.
Well, we're at a 125.19. On the HUD, which one is Bananium Gems?
Let me get it pulled up. Wait, did I not have? Did I not follow? Oh, I guess I didn't follow the SRC page. Interesting.
Because I assume it's 90 is the minimum. It's the 90 I'm seeing on the world record run.
What's the time code you're at?
I'm at like 120.13. That'll show 89, but I think you get one more in like the next area to get to basically be at 90. So I guess technically it's
like
89.
the coin.
Oh, okay.
You'd actually have to go into the menu to see it.
Okay. So I have no idea then. But that splits.
Also, good to see that, you know, we don't take the fake ending as the end for any percent.
Of course not, because there's still gameplay after that.
I'm obviously not looking at it enough, and I kind of already knew part of it because Google articles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just I don't know all of it, so that's why I'm like, yeah, no.
From everything I've seen, I'm just like, if you love your Kong, you should stay blind so you can come into this and just be surprised by everything. Because basically the entire last like world, like basically 2 worlds are just like, hey, this is for the Kong fans.
There is already a movement guide.
Yeah.
That didn't take long.
I feel like that's one of the first things that would be developed. Is just like, all right, how we move around these levels like stupid fast.
Roll. I can almost guarantee roll is the primary movement for it. Because I don't even think Zebra Bonanza would be beneficial for a lot of it. Because you're tied to having to be in a Bonanza form.
Oh yeah, there's like all sorts of tech.
That don't surprise me.
There's all the tech.
I mean, you want to get to a higher ledge, jump, ground pound, roll, cancel for it there. And then there you go. You've gotten stupid height. That's actually how I figured out how to get up high enough to skip Pauline. Because I had the dumb idea and I was like, you know what? Sure, I'm going to try this.
I also saw from a clip,
the problem I had with the skipping Pauline I didn't do the first area the way that it was intended.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning I didn't know which way to go once I got over there, because I didn't know which way was which. So I was like, well, okay. Because I think I just kind of fumbled my way up the tower.
I saw in a clip that you can just rip the turf if an enemy has like a bunch of turf on a stick. You can just rip the turf off the damn stick and just throw it at them.
Yes, and I figured that one out in one of the Grumpy Kong fights. Because you had to use the exploding rocks to break open the ceiling to then turn it to where you could punch it. When I figured that out, I was like, oh, I could have been doing this a while ago then.
Yeah, it was just so satisfying just to see. Just like, you have a weapon. That weapon's mine now.
You have weapon. You share weapon with me, so I can smack you with weapon.
I guess anything else?
No.
I've got SRWT Platinum now. Once I had all the shop stuff unlocked, it was just like, alright, I'm basically just speedrunning the game as fast as I can and not fucking up maps, so I have to redo them if a game over. So it didn't take super long. So basically, I'm set and ready for when Y comes out in almost exactly a month, because it comes out a month from tomorrow. Also, this last week was like my first, well, I guess my only week of not on the floor training, like intro training, I guess, for work. It wasn't as rough as I thought it was going to be. But these next 4 days are going to be like the first time I'm doing the job in full. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not nervous at all. Besides that, hasn't been much of anything else. So, shall we hit the news?
I guess we shall.
Alright, Pokemon Presents for July. The Presents they've announced like way in advance, and there certainly wasn't much of anything at this Presents, to be honest. So kind of running down the list, we have more episodes of the Pokemon Concierge show. That's that stop motion animated show that's on Netflix. New episodes starting September 4th. If it's like how I know other Netflix stuff is, this is probably the same season of episodes from before. It's just they've arbitrarily split them in half for money purposes on Netflix's end of things. We are also getting a Sirfetch'd and Pichu show called Misadventures of Sirfetch'd and Pichu. Is from the folks behind Wallace and Gromit.
I
the
thought
little trailer kind of
sounded familiar. That might be interesting.
It looks fun. Then the usual mobile updates and stuff for Go and Masters and Cafe Remix and Sleep and Unite. The trading card game is getting Mega Evolution stuff on September 26th. The new puzzle game, Pokemon Friends. You get to do daily puzzles to unlock yarn to make plushes for folks in a town. So about this game, the puzzles are fine. They're not like big brain twisters or anything, and it's a variety of different puzzles. The only problem is you probably only get about 3 maybe puzzles a day. It might be 9. I know when I downloaded it first, they gave me 9 puzzles, and then I think I tried to play today, and it only gave me 3 puzzles. So there's a daily limit on the puzzles you do. But you have to pay if you want unlimited puzzles. Would you care to guess how much you have to pay?
How much?
$33. So, no. Like, this is fine. Making the plushes is kind of like getting the plushes of the Pokemon is kind of cute, but I'm like, I'm not paying $33 just to have unlimited puzzles. I'll do like 3 puzzles a day and call it.
I feel
Scarlet Violet.
I feel conflicted on that because one part of me is like, if this wasn't a mobile game, I wouldn't question that at all.
This is technically a mobile and Switch game.
But I'm like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It is not anything extravagant. Like, this is like super basic puzzles. Like, I think the puzzle they feature in the trailer, or like one of the main puzzles, is like connecting light bulbs in a continuous line with Pikachu. Some of the other ones are like moving up these like elevated platforms with Score Bunny, swapping tracks around to get, I think, a Sableye from like one end of the tracks to the other. It's real basic puzzle stuff like that, which is what makes me go, I'm not paying $33 for this. There's not that this is not that extravagant of a video game. Absolutely not. Scarlet and Violet are getting the shiny Catastrophe Pokemon as Terra Raids, starting on the 23rd of July. So already they're in there. Hooray. The big thing was details and proper look at Pokemon Champions. This is basically a competitive Pokemon game. You can bring in Pokemon, or you can basically get like recruit Pokemon to add to your team. You can compete in ranked matches to get points to spend training Pokemon and recruiting them. I believe I think it's been confirmed that there's no IVs in this game. There are only EVs in this game. IVs are maxed across the board. But yeah, how do you... and we're slated for next year. And like I said, it will have home compatibility, so you can bring in Pokemon if you don't want to recruit Pokemon. How do you feel about Champions? Are you excited?
Will it have home compatibility out at launch? Because I know they've been bad for not doing that with stuff.
I feel like it should just have home compatibility off the bat, especially when like half the reason to get this game is that competitive Pokemon aspect.
Yeah, but literally everything that they have put out doesn't have home compatibility for like the first 3 months.
I was sick. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It feels like longer than that.
I'm pretty sure at the minimum has been 3 months. But yeah.
Legends EA had a new trailer showing off a bit more of the story and stuff. Basically, you are teaming up with a group of others to like protect Lumio City and look into stuff. We have a new Mega Evolution, Mega Dragonite. He has big wings and more of a Dragonair tail. And
big
apparently
wings on his head.
Yep. and some more like winged stuff on like his shoulders and like feet and stuff. Apparently it's Pokedex entry, or it's like it gets battles over quickly because it doesn't want to like do more damage than necessary against its opponents, so it just fucks people up as fast as possible. I'm like, cool.
So it is the Pokemon personification of basically,
except nicer. It wants to be nice about it. Apparently, Mega Pokemon are on a rampage, and you're looking into that, investigating why, and like, excuse me. October 16th is our release date. Switch 2 edition, of course, as I think they've confirmed that a long time ago, didn't they?
And the release date.
Okay. I think we're getting a Switch 2 bundle for ZA, or a version of the Switch 2 that's ZA branded.
I've seen the bundle.
Yeah.
Be mentioned, and for the $500 price point that the World one was.
But yeah. How do you feel about ZA now?
Meh. I'm still just in the phase with it.
Yeah. Yeah, there was something magical with Arceus that, like, it clicked. This, I don't know. There's something about it that I'm like, I'm worried about it.
We had Scarlet and Violet in between it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. I hope this comes out swinging, because I would like a really good Pokemon game just like on the table since Gen 10, right?
I don't know. I don't keep up with that.
Fair. Like, whatever the next gen of Pokemon is not going to be till like next year, I believe. If then. So, like, I just hope this does really well. But that's it for the Presents. How do you feel about the Pokemon Presents?
It was a thing.
Much like all Pokemon Presents are.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, hey, a cute little, like, anime thing. Mobile slop. Or mobile schlock. And then, like, the things you care about right at the end. Just like how all presents have been formatted. So, it was fine. I didn't even bother to watch it all the way through. I just skimmed through it all when I got off work, because it was like, all right, let's see what's here. Next up, we have another round of Switch Online playtesting for the Switch Online playtest thing that has no name and exists, presumably, unless this is something else entirely we don't know yet.
So, I'm not going to go deep into it, but based off of the description that they give everyone, I'm going into this thinking that it's something akin to like a lot of your build stages concepts. So like Mario Maker, I think Little Big Planet had something like that too. That style of game is the way that it's kind of being described.
From what I've seen of the stuff that leaked the first time around they did this, is some sort of collaborative build thing. But
and it might be the same thing.
We'll find out soon. This round of playtesting will go from July 28th at 9 o'clock Eastern to August 10th at 8:59 Eastern.
I'm
folks who have-
definitely in it, so I won't be able to say a whole lot, but yeah.
yeah, because you probably have to sign some sort of NDA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, the way it's described is at least showing something akin to that, which I think is stuff we already kind of knew, because like you said from the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that part of it's not secretive.
Yeah, it is. I don't think it's even, there's not even really an IP attached to it, even as a new one. It is just kind of very alpha state-esque, unless this new second round of playtesting updates it to have more character stuff, maybe.
I doubt it.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see how this goes in this week. Next up, a bit of a short one. We have our Link in Zelda for the live-action Legend of Zelda. Benjamin Evan Ainsworth will be playing Link, and Bo Barackson will be playing Zelda. Benjamin is probably has the best known role here as playing Pinocchio in live-action Pinocchio, which no one gives two hoots about. So fair. But both of them have fairly like nondescript biographies in terms of work they've done. So they're also on the teenager side, I guess, which I guess some people have tried to like peg down. What are they doing for this movie? And I'm just like, please don't try to straight adapt any of the Zelda games. Please don't. God, that's not going to end well.
Okay, to this I'm gonna say, if anyone is trying to do that, just stop. Because name me what Mario game got straight adapted for the Mario movie.
None of them.
The closest thing that you could even remotely try to act like got adapted would be like one of the new Super Mario Bros. Games. And even then it wouldn't be enough to say, yes, that was a straight 1-to-1.
Like, pull from the Zelda lore, have things in there that Zelda fans will pop for, but please do your own thing, because, like, just imagine trying to straight adapt, like, Ocarina of Time.
If they're gonna go the straight adapt mentality, I honestly think it's gonna be Tears Breath of the Wild era kind of deal. I don't think they're gonna straight adapt. I think if anything we might see like landscapes from the different areas, and each of them kind of have their own unique things where you can be like, oh, this is from pulling from that game and this is from that one and stuff like that. Which then would lean into, the Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom thing. Because that's kind of what they did with that. That's why I'm like, I think if any game is going to get straight adapted, it'd be one of the two newest ones. But I doubt it'll be straight adapted.
Yeah, because it doesn't help that, like, Zelda games are long in terms of what's happening. Not necessarily the plot, but to get to A to B to C to D, it's like you're not cramming all that into like 2 hours. If this movie goes 2 hours, I almost peg it as an hour and a half just to make sure the kids stay entertained.
And see, that's the thing too. Most Zelda games, you've got upwards of like 10 collectibles that you got to get before you can finish. The other reason I'm thinking Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom might be the more logical sense. Breath of the Wild, you got the 4 divine beasts that all 4 don't actually have to be done. but that could still work. I could see the overall for Breath of the Wild working as a movie. Obviously, it would have to be fleshed out. Breath of the Wild is too open.
Yeah.
But I could see that being a good base to start with and then going from there.
I guess the only other speculative note is that Universal Studios and their Nintendo Park stuff are using Twilight Princess imagery for Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf. Like, their renders are in some stained glass alongside like the Mario cast and the Donkey Kong cast that is already represented in the park. Again, whether that means anything, I don't know. I know the mural they also have on the ground, I think, is also adjacently Twilight Princess. It's not specifically from anything, but a lot of the symbology and stuff is pulling directly from, I think, is either Twilight Princess or specifically the 3D version of Ocarina, the 3DS version, because it was using updated versions of the Sage emblems that were in that version of the game, not necessarily the original version.
Twilight Princess could be adapted, but as far as story wise, I still feel like Breath of the Wild is going to be our answer for world, at least, just for the simple fact of, with Breath of the Wild, they did reference almost every other game, so they're gonna take cues from that. Especially seeing as how many references we got in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah. I feel like visually they probably pull from Breath of the Wild. The only key difference I think they do is Link won't be in blue, he'll be in his normal green.
Story they could try to pull from Twilight Princess. The only issue I see with that is we then need to know 3 other casting listings, and knowing the Zelda listing actually would mean nothing. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. For them throwing it this way, it points more towards Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, but maybe they're gonna do something like those 2 games did, but with an older story. Because I could maybe see us eliminating like Midna out of Twilight Princess's story, Midna and Zant both, really, and your companion actually being Zelda instead of Midna.
That's what I'm kind of hoping from this movie, is that, hey, you know what Zelda people have really liked and were kind of disappointed didn't get to be playable in Tears of the Kingdom? The fucking current Zelda. You know what this Zelda should be like? It should be like that Zelda.
Now, you want to know the dumb that I have a feeling is going to happen?
The Zelda's barely going to do anything in this movie.
Nope, not that.
Oh.
What if we decided to stupidly deal with the new Zelda games, not once but twice, and possibly a 3rd time?
Oh, time travel shenanigan bullshit? Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for this to be a time travel shenanigan garbage from current Zelda, yeah. I was gonna say current timeline, but technically it's post all timelines, so meh.
Look, I am all in favor of just like, hey, what if we gave Zelda a personality beyond like a princess? And then Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom answered that by going, what if she is like just shy of being a bit mad and a bit of a mad scientist? It's just shy of looking at a guardian and going, I'm going to disassemble that thing to figure it out. I don't care how dangerous it is. Like, if we get that Zelda on the big screen with like a Link that he can talk, he can have a personality. Fucking Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Link has a personality. It's muted because I also forget about the detail that the mission objectives and your quest log. For some reason, when they translated the game into English, they decided to remove the fact that all of those entries are written by Link.
I mean, he can write, he can't talk.
Yeah, all those mission objectives and all the descriptions on them, if you look in the original Japanese text, those are all written by Link and personally are reflective of how he feels at the current moment whenever he gets those objectives. But when they translate it to English, they kind of like just made it more of just regular game stuff. They kind of like removed a bit of Link's personality, even though they preserved some of it in the dialogue. Because again, Link has a personality. Just look at all his dialogue choices. Link is like 3 steps away from just being like, I'm just going to try to eat something. I don't care what it is. Or just like, Link is fun. Might be because I've read too much people's interpretations of Link and Zelda, but I'm like, no, you can have fun with this Link and Zelda if you decide to just do something fun with them. Which I guess is my big hope with this movie. Is just like, have fun. Let these people have fun with these characters. But anything else?
No. No. I guess this one didn't take it. Good work.
Apparently not. So you know how Xbox has been putting out some of their major titles onto PlayStation?
Mm-hmm.
How would you like 2 more? So a report is apparently making the rounds from somebody somewhere. A MP will first stating that State of Decay 3 and Gears E-Day will launch on PlayStation 5. And basically, according to resumes and stuff, it says that, hey, this is going to come to PS5 alongside Xbox Series and PC. So how do you feel about that?
So there is nothing left for Xbox.
What are you talking about? They haven't put Halo out on PlayStation yet.
Okay, just wait until the remaster also is releasing on PS5 and Switch too, because why not at this point?
Yeah. Well, the podcast I listen to, well, there are things has always been like, how long is it going to take till Master Chief Collection goes on there?
Good question.
Yeah, Microsoft. I was listening to that podcast, to a supercut for that podcast is like industry burning down segments, which is just them going, here's all the bad news involving the game industry over the year. And it's like 16 hours long for the entire year of 2024.
And like 14 hours of that is Microsoft.
It's up there for them. There's plenty of other stuff because there's a lot of layoff stuff in there, but it's like, yeah, they spend quite a while talking about how Microsoft is basically experiencing platform death. They are transitioning to a third-party publisher, basically. That is what's happening and what we're seeing. And if you don't see that, I've got bad news. You must not be looking in the right places. But yeah, it's just... I guess we'll move on then. So we've been enjoying Blitzo Royale in the Fort Niv. And apparently we're not the only ones because a lot of people have been enjoying it. And it seems like it's going to be sticking around until at least 2027.
Which makes sense.
So data miners have kind of like dug into the code and stuff and found that missions and quests related to Blitz Royale are set to end in 2027. Basically saying, hey, this is going to stick around for like 2 years, which basically makes it permanent. And I say good.
Seems like it gets to join all the others.
Mm-hmm. We might be getting a new map for it as well, which I say is great. But we could use map rotation.
What would be good with this is instead of them doing it on the traditional season concept, if they could set it up similar to how they're wanting to do ballistic and let the map rotate per match.
That I would honestly feel like that'd be great for like the non-standard Battle Royale Fortnite modes. Just like, hey, you've got several maps. Just let it pick a random map every match.
And like maybe still have an option where as you're queuing up in the lobby, you can decide if you want it to be rotating or if you want it to be just one map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't like a certain map, you can just like not have to play on it.
But I know they won't do that.
Yeah. But we have one last article coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, actually. I think it's like the only real game news that came out of San Diego. I saw more toy news come out than anything, and like a little bit of comic news. But Marvel Cosmic Invasion has 2 more characters added to its roster. Specifically the Silver Surfer and Beta Ray Bill. So you get not the Silver Surfer from the Fantastic Four movie, because that's an alternate universe one, and then the other person who wields a hammer and has Thor-esque powers, because Thor thought he was cool when they met once, and it was like, well, you're worthy of Mjolnir, but I don't have a second one of those. Would you like your own hammer? And this is where Stormbreaker comes from. Basically, Stormbreaker in MCU is supposed to be Beta Ray Bill's hammer, and Thor stole it. But I also got a voice cast list, which I recognize Matt Mercer, who's doing Nova and Annihilus, but I don't remember anybody else. Well, there's Steve Bloom, who's doing Venom and Beta Ray Bill. Josh Keaton's doing Spider-Man. This is probably like the usual folks for some of these characters.
I think so.
I feel like Marvel in the last few years has tried to stay consistent across different forms of media when it comes to the voice work they do for characters. Like, if one person's doing Wolverine, it's basically the same person for Wolverine across everything. Which, hey, that's a consistent paycheck. That's job security. But yeah, beyond that, not much else besides, like, I guess some of the locations. We got, Galactus in the background dealing with stuff and the like. You have any thoughts on not Secret Invasion? Cosmic Invasion. not that show.
Thoughts,
no, that show was atrocious.
Those thoughts can be vastly different there.
Not only was it a bad show, it was a bad comic as well. The only thing that did Secret Invasion right was actually the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, like, handful episodes that adapted it.
In all seriousness, I don't feel like the show was bad. I feel like it was executed bad. I feel like the concept was good. It just it needed more time in the oven.
That sounds exactly like how the comic went.
Not to mention the CGI. Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Cosmic Invasion, the beat 'em up.
I mean, I don't know. I've got to be in the right mood for games like this. So I mean, meh.
Fair. I will never say no to a beat 'em up. Whether or not I get around to play it is another thing entirely, but I won't say no to beat 'em ups. It feels like a genre we could use more of these days. But that is all the news for the week, folks. Which takes us to releases. Hooray. Oh boy. We're just going to kick things off on the 29th with Grounded 2 in early access for Series X and the like. And we'll go down to this nightmare that is the 31st because, oh good lord, all the things to listen for the 31st. Final Fantasy Moogle Bounty Mayhem for board and card. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound for Xbox One Series, X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. I think that's the little 2D Ninja Gaiden game they're putting out before. Yeah, that's the little 2D Ninja Gaiden game they're putting out before the new proper one comes out. We also got Rumble Bots for board and card. On the August 1st, RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business DLC for Series X and PlayStation 5. On the 7th, Madden NFL 26 for Series X. House of the Dead 2 remake for Switch.
You know, that would actually be something right there.
Mm-hmm.
What you almost said. Marvel NFL.
Oh yeah.
That would actually be interesting.
Yeah. On August 8th, Mafia the Old Country for Series X and PlayStation 5. And that's about it. It is slim pickings, folks.
I mean, until Thursday when we have a Nintendo Direct and they shadow drop Prime 2 and 3 remaster? Question mark?
Basically.
Because God, if that happens.
But yeah, that is gonna be it, folks. In 2 weeks, we will hopefully have a direct to talk about. Hooray! But between now and then, Thursday, hopefully, as long as I'm not feeling too beat up and banged up, we'll get back to doing cat stuff. We'll get back to doing the Kuga Kemi, and if there's a Nintendo Direct at all this week, I'll sit down and like run through it on stream. It won't be like a full reactions, but I'll skim through it for like stuff to talk about and show off and look into. Since if it happens, I won't be able to react to it unless it's on like Friday. This Friday we are back to cubage with sport and Mickey platformer. Hooray. I have hope for that Mickey platformer. I can't wait for it to be dashed. I feel like that's the trend, unfortunately. It's just like, I've heard about this game. I've heard it's good. We play it. Oh no, it wasn't.
Yep.
Saturday we're starting a thing?
Yeah, I've still got to work the rest of that out.
Okay. And next Sunday, we'll continue our run through of Gaim. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be back with TGS. So if you like what you're seeing, folks, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Exclamation point YouTube and chat gets the YouTube archive for this and all of our other streams. Right now, weekly co-op for 2022. I've started scheduling all of that. We have episodes scheduled or stream scheduled all the way through to Friday, or through Friday. That unfortunately doesn't get us that far into the 2022 stuff because we didn't really start doing the site stuff until 2023. So it's just purely weekly co-op from beginning to end. But in the slot that I usually have for my streams tomorrow, there is a 2021 weekly co-op going out. Would you care to guess why?
Why?
So we started a Metroid Prime rando at the end of 2021 and then ended it at the beginning of 2022.
Ah.
So I have to put the part 1 out so it makes sense. So in the 9 o'clock slot on the YouTube, you're getting the 2021 part 1 of the Metroid Prime rando we did then, and the 9 o'clock slot the next day will be the part 2, and then from there will be all the different weekly co-ops. I was reminded about how much I didn't like the bosses in Prime 2, because guess what's going out this week? I don't know if it's guess what's going to be out by this week?
I'm guessing Prime 2.
Yeah, all of our playthrough of Prime 2.
Yeah, those bosses sucked.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm gonna try to schedule like Friday to Friday, basically. You know, since I'm through Friday right now. On Friday this week, I'm gonna schedule to next Friday, or at least further, or at least through all the weekly co-ops, because there's like more than a week left worth of weekly co-ops to schedule. Which should give you an idea of how many streams that is. But after that will be like Rampant Gaming, and then probably do TGS just to make it simple for myself. And then I'll roll out the 2022 TGSRs, which things like Ryuki and a couple other things. I'll have to see when I sit down and schedule everything. But yeah, also if you want to know when we go live, exclamation point social and chat get you our handles for all our social medias, and exclamation point Discord chat is the link. Drop by, say hi, and we'll see you Thursday, folks.